You know, and they had another thing here. I think I'm going to get into that. They had the nude RVers.
Along these roads we roam, we find adventure through traveling, camping, boondocking, and exploring.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Vlogcast episode number 88. My name is Russ.
I'm Kerry.
And we are the roads we roam. We're a couple living full-time in our little guy Max. We're doing things a little bit differently today.
Yep.
And for the next week, because we're going to report on how the Escapees Escapade is going. So we're going to give you kind of like a day one, day two kind of rundown sort of thing.
That's right. So if you've been following us, we are members of the Escapee RV Club, and this is their national rally. They have one every year. This is our very first rally as well. So we figured we'd give you a day-by-day review of what's been going on, what to expect if you attend one of these rallies, and just kind of give our overall thoughts of what's going on.
Yeah.
So let's dive right in. Yesterday was check-in day. Now, if you signed up for their boot camp, and that's for people that want to go through RV basics.
Yeah, I think we probably would have done that had this come more in the beginning of our journey.
However, that being said, they said that anybody can attend a boot camp. So even if you've been doing it for years, that it's well worth your time. So I think maybe in the future we might just pop in on one of those.
Yeah, you know, even after a year, 2, 3 years of doing this thing, you know, RV's kind of like that, just like anything else. You never know everything.
Exactly. So those people actually arrived on Thursday. They arrived a couple days earlier than the actual event attendees. Yesterday was the official check-in day for kickoff. You could check in from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. And we decided, for a couple of reasons, that we were going to check in closer towards the end.
Yeah, I think a lot of that had to do with, at first, to be honest, we were looking at coming in at 8 o'clock in the morning, but then we realized, man, that's when there's going to be a rush because everybody's going to be here. So we decided to push it back a little bit. We actually came in around 1 o'clock yesterday.
Which worked out well for us because we do our live streams, and we had our live stream at 10 a.m. We were at a campground where we knew the Wi-Fi was relatively dependable, and we weren't sure what it would be like here, so we decided to do that first and then head on out. We got here around 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yep.
There was no line whatsoever.
Yeah, it was just kind of drive right in. I was very impressed. It was very well organized. As soon as you pulled in, there was a group of people waiting for you. They asked you a couple questions. You showed your e-ticket. You showed your parking pass. And then they sent you on to another person who they'd see you coming. They'd get out of their golf cart or their car, wherever. Very helpful, very friendly. All of them had a smile on their face. We got in and parked within just a couple of minutes, actually.
And let's backtrack just a little bit. One of the things that really impressed me about this is starting about 3 weeks ago, there were regular communications. They sent you a pass that you could print, so that way when you drove up, you had that ready and waiting for the parking staff. So that kind of cut down on the time for them to figure out where you had to go.
Yeah.
But then we would get newsletters in advance telling us directions on how to get here, what to expect when you got here. Even with that, because it was our first time, I was a little nervous, so I went on to Our Village. It's an app. You don't have to be an Escapees member to be part of that, but a lot of Escapee members are.
Yeah.
And I went on there the day before and said, hey, first timer coming in, is there anything we should expect? And I just kept getting reassurances left and right on just show up, they'll tell you exactly what to do. You don't even have to worry about it.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You know, this is not their first rodeo. This is the 59th time they've done this. So they've got it down to a science.
Well, when we came in, we are in the boondocking section, but they have all sorts of different areas.
Yeah, exactly. They have areas for solar use only if you need to spread out a little bit and put your solar stuff out. They've got handicap parking if you're RVing and you're handicapped.
They have solo one, which I thought was very interesting and very neat, because that way you can put like-minded people next to each other for the camping. And while the whole thing is about mingling and getting to know one another, I think by putting the RVs in areas based off of the type of RVing you do, I think was very smart.
The CEO, I forget what his name is, but last night he was talking at the the opening ceremonies, he was mentioning circles within a community. So that's truly what they're doing. They're putting you in circles of communities here. You know, they also had, if you want to have hookups, if you want to have electrical and water, you can have that.
Although you have to sign up early. Those go by very, very quickly.
Yeah, people jump on those.
As soon as they open up the one for next year, if you want a hookup site, you need to get registered as soon as possible.
Now,
the spaces.
Yeah, oh yeah. Well, we're real quick here. We're in boondocking, and you can run your generators basically from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. They've got quiet hours, so you're not allowed to run your generators there. But what Kerry was mentioning, the spacing here is unbelievable. I mean, the way we're parked, we could have, in a normal campground, there'd be somebody between us and the neighbor sideways. But when you're going front to back, my goodness, we have 60, 70 foot of
I think they
room.
allowed for that just based off of if you had a big Class A plus a tow vehicle, and it just made the lines a lot easier. It was pretty impressive when we drove in, just seeing a never-ending line of RVs. Now, we are way out at the end of a field. You might be able to see some of this. Is the very tail end of where the parking ends. I mean, we had to drive to get out this far. But quick clarification, so the generators, you can run them 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. 10 p.m. to 7 a.m. is quiet hours. It just kind of, with the talking, it got real quick.
Okay.
But no, that being said, it's been so quiet.
Yeah, you know, it's one thing that was kind of, to be honest, it's weird. There's so many people here, yet it is so quiet. You know, a comment you made this morning was last night there was a raging Celtic band with drums and guitars and bagpipes and all this stuff, yet we didn't hear anybody come back to their vehicles last night. It was so quiet.
It was St. Patrick's Day. I expected, drunken people doing a jig, and, that just didn't happen.
I think a lot of that has to do with how people here, they set out rules and regulations and how you should act. Plus, there are a lot of, so people read that, the newbies like us read that, we understand that. But plus, there are a lot of experienced people here.
Yes.
And this isn't really your crazy crowd either. It's an older crowd. You know, we're probably some of the younger people here, but just super friendly, great people. You know, I mean, and I just had a blast. I'm looking forward to today. I know we had an easy check-in and registration, getting back on topic about how well they had everything set out.
Yeah, and then so once you check in, there are golf carts running 24/7 everywhere around here. You do not have to walk if you do not want to, and that's free of charge. But once you get set up in your spot, they direct you to a hall where you can go check in at the registration table. Again, there was 10-second wait in line, if that. They give you a bag with all sorts of little goodies in it. And then they give you your passes. You have to wear, they stress this, you have to wear this 24/7.
when you're out of your camper, you've got to wear that.
One thing I really liked, because I'm prone to tripping and falling and potentially bashing my head, they have on the back here, and they direct you to put your cell phone, your rig location, an emergency contact, name it.
Yeah.
So when I fall, they can call Russ and let him know where I am.
But no, that registration table was not too far away, but as Kerry mentioned, there are golf carts, transports to take you to the registration area. We had to walk, I would say it's about a quarter of a mile.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
And it wasn't that bad, and since I wanted to walk off some of the lunches that we've had as of late, we just decided to walk.
Yeah.
But once you register, as I said, it's in this hall, and they have something called BOFs, birds of a feather, and they have them set up at what they call the row. And we decided to go in and check these out. These are clubs, little communities within this larger Escapees community, and we went and checked out that they have geocaching, they have regional areas. Wisconsin, I was so tempted to stop by because they had a bowl of cheese curds just sitting right there.
Yeah, they had prospectors and metal detecting, which I'm into because that's something that I do. You know, and they had another thing here I think I'm going to get into that. They had the nude RVers.
No. No. I'm sitting there thinking, what's he going to do? Oh, by the way, we did not cover this at the beginning. If you aren't aware, we are in Tucson, Arizona.
Yes.
At the moment. We're at the Pima County Fairgrounds. It's supposed to hit 80 degrees. It's a little windy this morning, so if you see me doing this, the wind is blowing just right that my eyes are watering a little bit every now and then.
But anyways, here, they've got more about organization and how well they do this. They've got an actual app that is very user-friendly.
And you know I love my apps, which I downloaded before we got here. And one of the things that, oh, now you're getting my tears.
Yeah, boy, that wind is hitting you. We should have traded spaces there.
You can go through the daily schedule, and then the events that you want to go to, you just click and it says add to my schedule, and then you have your daily events that you've picked for yourself, all organized in a nice, easy to find location. You can also see who else is here and send them little messages.
Yeah.
You can also attach any of your social media accounts. So for us, we registered and we put our website, our Facebook, our Twitter. So if people want to follow you after the fact, they have all your information right there, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah, and if you're not into apps, they have booklets.
Who's not into apps?
They've got booklets that has all the information that you need, maps, everything like that. There's just not that interactive ability within the books.
Right.
However, and some of the information changes, some of the scheduling changes. So the app is really good for that. But no fear, even if you're not into apps, they've got that covered because they have announcements, daily announcements.
So every day, so they had the opening ceremony yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Which they gave a bunch of updates there.
Yep.
But every day after that, they have at 7 p.m. every night a daily gathering in the big hall where they give out door prizes.
Yeah.
We're trying to win something. There's a $400 gift certificate from Wi-Fi Ranger.
Yes, that's the one I want. They're giving 3 of those away. They gave one away last night.
We didn't win it.
No. But you know, the very first 2 prizes they gave away were $250 cash.
I mean, so they give out some really good prizes.
Yeah.
So it's a good enticement to come to the Grand Hall every night at 7 p.m. But that's where you also get all of your updates as well.
You know what I really liked about that, the door prize scenario there? They had a bunch of the kids
Yes.
there. And rather than have the adults, walk up there and get them, they had the kids walking them out to the adults, which was really cool. The kids enjoyed it.
Here's the funny thing. Russ had said after the $250 cash ones, they actually had the people come up and pose for a picture.
Yeah.
But they said all the rest of them, they would have these kids, you just wave your hand and the kids would run out, which I thought was really great because they can move faster than I can. But Russ had looked over at me and he said, if I win anything, I don't think I'm going to get up and walk all the way up there. I'm not into that right now.
Yeah.
And then they came out with all the kids. And how much better is it to have a smiling kid come over and give you back? So I thought that was a great way to use the kids and incorporate them and make them feel like they're a part of the event.
Yeah, so the opening ceremony is very cool. You got to hear from the CEO, you got to hear from the president, the vice president. You got a good background about what Escapees and Escapers is pledging as a community to our community. And after that, there was a great ice cream social. I was looking forward to this all day. Carrie would say, they've got this event, they've got that event. And I'd be like, yeah, they got the ice cream social. She goes, uh-huh. And then we can go here. And I said, and then they got the ice cream social. And she's like, yeah. And then, ice cream social, ice cream social. I got my ice cream. It was fantastic.
And so his day was complete.
After the ice cream socials was what?
After they had the first timers meet and greet, which is hosted by the second timers, which I thought was really cool.
That's cool, yeah.
It reminded me of high school, kind of, when you have the sophomores welcome the freshmen.
Yeah, I didn't think about it that way, but you're 100% correct. They also had more door prizes at the first timers event.
I know. We went back to the trailer, took the dogs for a walk, and we came back and they were calling out numbers. And I'm like, dang, we might have missed something. So don't leave the events. But after that, we went back, we had some dinner.
Yep.
And then they have, as we said, at 7 p.m., they have that gathering where they gave out some of those door prizes. But then they brought in, since it was St. Patrick's Day, a band. And what a band.
Yeah, I think they're American Rogues, and they were a Celtic band, a Celtic rock band.
An American Celtic rock band.
Very cool. They had some issues. They were just coming in from Abu Dhabi. They lost some equipment, that sort of thing. The stuff that they were using,
was not theirs.
Was not theirs. Well, the instruments were theirs, but the sound equipment wasn't theirs. So they had a really tough time getting it started. But what I found interesting was the lead guy in the band. He had such a great personality.
Oh, yeah.
He was telling stories, having people laugh as he went about it. It really kind of allowed you to not get irritated with waiting. But once they got going, oh my goodness.
And they totally won Russ over because they did, I think it's called The Gale.
Yeah.
From The Last of Mohicans, which is one of Russ's all-time favorite
Oh,
movies.
yeah.
So as soon as that came out, Russ was just like a kid with his jaw open watching it and mesmerized.
They did a great job. Now this band has percussionists, they have bagpipes, they've got an accordion player, they have...
Okay, wait, the lead guy, he plays everything.
Yeah, he does.
he plays everything. But it was incredibly entertaining. We got some clips and some footage of it, so if y'all are watching this and wondering, well, that's all great, Russ and Kerry, but we want to see some of that. That's what we're going to put in our Saturday video. We're going to do a compilation of the whole week so you can kind of see and hear. And
just like normal, just like what we normally do. We talk about our week throughout the Saturday or throughout the weekdays, and then on the weekend you get to kind of see it. The only thing I'm kind of worried about was this is music. And as we all know, YouTube has copyright issues. So we may or may not be able to get the music in there. But
we'll do like a quick 5-second clip of the bagpipe. YouTube can't kick you off for a bagpipe.
Okay. All right.
But then, I mean, we can kind of show the band and the excitement about everything. But I will say, our ending thought, because everybody's in an RV, there was not a single person in line in the women's bathroom.
That's our final thought, the women's bathroom?
Yes, because when you go to these big events, think about it, a state fair or something like that, I dread having to go stand in line for 20 minutes in a women's bathroom. And we walked by, and I walked in, and there wasn't anybody in there. It's because everybody has their own.
Let me expound on that. So the men can identify with that. The men's room was much the same, but really, you know, anywhere you went that was an event. I mean, there are thousands of people here, 1,500, 2,000 people here. But anywhere you went that wasn't an event, it was unbelievably quiet. Nobody around. But Kerry brings up a great point. I think it's because we all have our trailers or our RVs, and we can go back there when we're not, you know, in an event, or everybody's at these events. These event halls are huge, and they're just full of people.
So people are either at a specific event or in their RV. You really don't see a lot of the people milling around, or at least not yet. So we'll keep you tuned on that one. But that was just one of my biggest takeaways on that, were the lack of people in the non-event spaces.
Exactly. Well, guys,
very different.
It's getting close to, I have to get to what are those things called?
A seminar.
A seminar about black tanks. So I'm going to hit that. I only got a couple minutes.
Are you looking forward to that as much as the ice cream social?
No, but I am looking forward to getting knowledge from people who have been doing this for years, and I am looking forward to being able to share that with you guys. So we are going to call it quits for now, but we will be back first thing tomorrow. So that's all we have. We'll look forward to seeing you tomorrow.
And if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below, and we will try to answer them. So if you have any event questions, shoot them our way. All right. You can do that either with the comments below or at our site at theroadsweroam.com. We have that contact page and the leave a voicemail. So if you want to do it real quick, do that. And Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram, Twitter. I think you even put up a Facebook live stream last night.
I did, of the band.
We may be doing that occasionally, so check that out as well. And if you get a second, please click that like and subscribe. That's all for today. We'll talk to you later.
All right, bye.